Hi, welcome to Sugar Free. This is a general all signs reading for the week commencing Monday, the 13th of November, 2023. Oh, goodness me. Right, really barreling towards the end of the year now. So, yeah, we've done the two eclipses. All right, we did the 10-10 portal. We did one eclipse. We did on the 14th, we did another one on the 28th, and then we've had the 11-11. And I don't know about you, but it seems to me like things are kind of, we've come out the other side of something. Like it's just been this mad like ride. And yeah, I feel sort of quite purged actually, in a funny sort of way, and really rather lovely and fresh. So that's the energy I'm coming into this reading with. It's a new moon in Scorpio on the 13th. So, you know, let's start over. And I guess, in a sense, like be processing what, starting to sort of think about what has gone on this like mad flipping ride that's lasted like a month. It's just been nuts, really nuts. So, right, these are the cards I'm using. I've got the Major Arcana of the Ancient Italian Tarot here, Major Arcana of the Rider-Waite here, which I may or may not use for clarification. And here I've got the Rider-Waite split into its suits. So I'm going to pull 3 from the Major Arcana and then dig down into the energy of each of those cards by pulling 1 of each of the 4 minor arcana suits for each of them, 3 major arcana. You'll get it, you'll see. Basically, we're going to end up with 3 rows, 3 columns and 5 rows. I'm going to get on with it now. Thanks for sticking with me. So this is all shuffled. I've been sitting in my kitchen, relaxing, shuffling the cards. So let's make a start. Star in reverse. Okay, well, what I'm getting from this straight away is that our course is set. It's set. We've had a course change, maybe course correction. I don't know. That would be nice, wouldn't it? But whatever's happened, we've changed direction and we're sort of following a new star now. And that's why this has come up in the reverse, because it's set. It's set. We're not wondering anymore. We're not looking. We know we've set off basically on this new course. The moon. Oh, yeah. Well, maybe it's all been a bit puzzling, hasn't it? You know, there's stuff that needs to wash up on the beach. Yeah, the tide hasn't completely gone out with this. I mean, it's on the move. You know, it started and it rose and it rose and it rose, and then it got to high tide and there was this like moment of stasis, and then the tide started receding again, and it's still on the way out. It's still on the way out, and we're not sure what's going to wash up. But do you know what I'm getting today off this lobster here? And my theory is that the lobster is in this card because it's about stuff coming up from the past, like really, really old stuff. And the reason I say that is because, like, old for us, like the old questions, the old niggles, the old kind of conundra, if I may. And the reason I say it's the old stuff is because lobsters have a genetic anomaly which makes them live an unusually long time compared to their fellow crustacea. So, you know, there's stuff that's, you know, it's alive, but it's very deep set. It's like sacral chakra stuff. It's not root chakra stuff. It's this sacral chakra stuff. And, you know, as we continue our progress through life on this new course, having changed course, you know, with certain things will come up again for reassessment, but in a new landscape where we don't have full clarification on things. You know, this is the early stages of a new path, a new phase. It's the early stages. So we're sort of on borrowed light here, which is what the moon is. And it also crosses my mind that this is really linking us back to the full moon on the 28th of October, which was pretty wild with that eclipse. Anyway, okay. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Oh, man, the world. How lovely. What a lovely, lovely kind of overarching perspective on this. Because this first card is like the immediate and personal perspective in terms of how we show up in the world. This is kind of solar plexus energy. This is us like being present in the world as a person. This position, this first position, not this card, but this first position, and how things appear to us now. This is more like the hidden perspective, the subconscious, the underbelly, the undertow, the veil. And this is the overarching perspective. Wow, how lovely the world. I mean, in the upright, how beautiful. How beautiful. You know, it just confirms back my sense with the star in reverse that this we've been through this like series of kind of trials, if you like trials by fire. Man, flipping heck, especially those two eclipses, especially the second one, the full moon one on the 28th. My God. So yeah, it just confirms that, and we are well and truly in a new paradigm. And this really heartens me in terms of this, because whatever comes up for re-examination, whatever rears its head again, will be seen in a completely, and will be processed and will be lived and will be the perspective. We have a completely new perspective because we've changed course, like full on changed course here in the star in reverse. This is not just the course change, this is an M&S course change. Sorry, that phrase, this is not just, sorry to people who are not British, it's a reference, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this is a wholesale course correction here. So no wonder, yeah, when we completely change, whether we know it or not, because as I say, this is so fresh, it's so new. And I'm not getting anything remotely negative off the reverse orientation of the star here. And quite often I do, you know, things like depression and sort of loss of faith and loss of hope and motivation and loss of a feeling of being really part of the world. I'm not getting any of that today off this. I'm getting the course correction, if I may. And I'm gonna change from a course change to a course correction now that the world has come up. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it's taken place. So, but we are still the people we are with this is a shift in thinking. It's a shift in thinking that really does change our orientation. So when stuff bubbles up from the past again, or we find ourselves in a situation where we have like well-worn responses to things, well-worn attitudes to things, well-worn kind of reactions to things, they're going to look new, aren't they? And it's like we're going to be looking at it and going, well, why on earth would I do that. Why on earth have I been doing that for such a long time? That's what I'm getting off it. It's beautiful. Right, so I'm going to start. I'm going to challenge myself to start here, because in a way, I really don't mind what comes up here. And by the way, with these major arcana, this minor arcana, I'm not taking reversals. Now, I can't remember what order these in, so I'm not sure. This is either going to be cups or pentacles. It's cups. Okay. Four of Cups. Yeah, we've said no to something. Basically, we are eschewing something in this change of orientation here. And this is new. And this, I think, is very positive. Again, often there's a feeling of sort of like churlishness and a wish to just stick with what we've got in the Four of Cups here. But what I'm seeing in it today is that there is something that we would normally accept on the emotional front that we're just not reaching out to take, to accept anymore. And yeah, I often see sort of like a bit of a kind of stroppy teenager here going, no, I don't want it. I didn't ask to be born, and things like that. But this seems more measured today for me, this figure here. It's more measured. So yeah, okay, that's what I'm getting off that. I'll carry on. Knight of Swords. I'm getting a note of caution off this, actually. It's like I won't go talking about this too much, because things are in flux. And that is also the energy of the Knight of Swords. Things are in flux at the moment. I mean, it's like an oil tanker has changed direction in the middle of the Indian Ocean or something, you know? I don't know whether you get oil tankers in the Indian Ocean. I expect you do. So like the backwash from that course change, you know, it would be ill-advised to sort of define things too much as the wake from this kind of settles down and kind of plays itself out. Yeah, and before the tide's gone down fully and exposed what the new landscape is. And that's also the energy of the Four of Cups here. You know, the four is about kind of not changing things. And, you know, sometimes to not change things or to choose to not do something because you're good here, thank you. And that is in all of those, the fours. It's about reaching a point of stability, but that can also be stuckness sometimes. So yeah, just maybe don't go sort of making snap definitions, or definitely not snap decisions in this situation, because, you know, these things take a while to play themselves through. Ace of Wands. Wow, great opportunity for this really does, this course correction really does open up a whole new energy in terms of what can be done, what can be like achieved in material terms, not necessarily in financial terms, but in material terms and in terms of sort of being active in the world, organizing things and building things. There's great energy there. Maybe thinking about a new project, a new business, some new training, building something new for yourself. This is replete. This is just wonderful. It's like something ignites here. And it's all to do with this. And the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, little offerings, little, small, sincere kind of moves, maybe, are advised, if I may. Because again, too much is in flux. Don't go spending all your pentacles, all right? This Ace of Wands here is in the realm of thought, really, at the moment. It's a sense of potential here. So, you know, until things are more concretized, basically, keep the kind of comings and goings in the world in terms of exchanging your energy for money, right? Which is basically what it is, isn't it? Keep it small, not tight, but just small. It's not the time to be going and like splurging on anything that might come up in this space of newness here. And definitely don't do that in the context of I think a lot of this, rather than sort of like, it's not so much like you're looking at the future and thinking, oh yes, I can see clearly now. It's all like cleared up for me and clarified. No, it's not that. It's just a feeling like you've turned a page, and you have. We all have. It's more just a feeling. So you're still like investigating and exploring this, and definitely don't go like spending on or spending on anything here. And be careful in sort of like engaging in sort of excited, I don't know, sort of flashy or heady sort of verbal engagements here in the Knight of Swords. Definitely all of that, like, oh, you know, softly sort of energy in the context of this moon. I'm going to pull on this now. Yeah, okay, this is going to be fine. And this is why the world here is the overall, like the overarching perspective. This is about love. This is about I mean, the Ace of Cups is like the pure kind of Shakti. Well, no, not the Shakti of love. This is the Shakti of love. The Ace of Cups is just the pure kind of the phenomenon of love. This is the Shakti. This is where the love is kind of passed like a current through a body, basically, bringing it to life. It doesn't sound too fucking gothic. I was thinking like Frankenstein, an odd bod. This is like the essence of personified love and devotion. This is utter devotion. Let's see, my word. I mean, this really, really does sort of up the like, oof, like just like hover over the brake here. Hover over the brake, because there's a lot in play. I mean, you can't lose really with the world, but yeah, you know, some things that we do cannot be undone. And I mean, everything that we do, even just like blowing our noses, okay? And that's not a euphemism for anything. Everything that we do is undoable, but some things are more kind of grave or like pertinent, or, you know, some things have a more intense context than others. And even if we do something in a more sort of grave and intense context than blowing one's nose, and then if we do something and then for whatever reason we put it back to how it was before, both of those moves still exist on the karmic web, both of those moves. So it's important. Caution here, because there's a lot in play. But this is like underpinning it all. And this is why This is why. It's all about this beautiful devotional energy of the Queen of Cups. Okay. Yeah, we don't know what to say about this. We don't know what we're looking at. We don't know what to make of it. That's why there's that blindfold there. It could be this, it could be that. And all the more reason, as I said, to not engage in kind of entertaining, not necessarily tittle-tattle, but just kind of forming ideas and putting them out into the world through your words in a sort of excited sort of way. Because really underneath it all, we don't actually really know what to make of this, but it feels really good, like really, really good. So there's a sort of suspension of discernment here because we're not sure what we're looking at. And again, we've got the moon here as it is here, obviously. Yeah, okay. Let's keep going. 10 of Wands. Okay, well, we might as well have got the Knight of Pentacles. It's taken a very, very long time and it's been hard work to get to this. It's been really hard work. And what I'm getting very strongly off this today is do not create any unnecessary work for yourself. There's absolutely no need to. Do what's necessary. And, you know, it's easy sometimes if we have permeable to whatever degree boundaries to really take on too much. It's quite easy to do that because we want to see ourselves and we want others to see us as good people who are prepared to sort of go the extra mile for others and insert another kind of little job into the day. And I'm getting that strongly off of that. It's like no unnecessary effort. And it's not even that no unnecessary effort is required. It's the other way around. It is required that we make no unnecessary effort. Because we are, I mean, honestly, we are like this lobster at the moment. Another thing about lobsters, because they're so long-lived in the way they live and everything, they have to shed that shell sometimes and grow a new one. And it takes some ridiculously long time for the lobster to shed its shell, and it secretes itself away. And the old shell comes off, and then goodness knows what it looks like, and there's a new one growing underneath. But we're vulnerable, not so much vulnerable as in there's anything dangerous going on, but we're tender. We're tender at the moment in this. So don't create any unnecessary work. Don't go commit into anything. Don't go investing, or just maybe a little bit. Just keep it small. And let this Ace of Wands that appears out of fucking nowhere. Look at it. Look at it. Out of nowhere. As a result of this course correction, let it bed in. Let it bed in. Right. Okay. Yeah. This is a fear of not so much failure, but of not finding one's place in the world. 5 of Pentacles, the out in the cold card, the Jude the obscure card. I am an outsider to the end of my days. There's a loneliness here, and this kind of this is like a tugging anxiety here. It's a tugging anxiety of it's a tugging anxiety of the soul that has been marked by loss, and by scarcity. It's very difficult to shake off the scarcity kind of energy once if it ever got in your bones, right? It's difficult to shake it off, that's for sure. So there's this very kind of beautiful combination here in this middle column of this non-committal, self-caring, because not taking on unnecessary work is actually an act of self-care here in the 10 of, and not creating any unnecessary burdens for ourselves. And maybe that is part of what's new. And an acknowledgement of this devotion here in the Queen of Cups. And do you know what I'm getting really strongly off this today, this Five of Pentacles, is this real feeling of compassion for these two people. Quite often I'm a bit cynical about the Five of Pentacles. And I say it's like these two people who could well go in to that church and get some like hot vegetable soup and a roll and a sort of a polite smile from the vicar. But they don't. They choose not to go in because, and sometimes I see that as a kind of grandiose, like, no, I'm all right, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you. But I'm getting real compassion off this today. A sense of real compassion for these two figures. Because, I mean, even if we do kind of by choice, eschew, there's that word again, the generosity of others, or sort of eschew the warmth of connection with others. I mean, that in itself is something to feel compassionate for. I mean, it must be very sad to be the kind of person who deliberately walks past warmth. Definitely compassion in order there, and that's what I'm getting off there. But this is very, very, I mean, this whole row is this whole column, sorry, is very quiet. But underpinning it all is this Queen of Cups. And the tenderness here towards these unfortunates. That is, I'm really struck by the power of this Queen of Cups. I'm really struck by it. It's the strongest card on the table so far. Well, apart from this one. Of course, but we'll come to that. But perhaps that's what these, certainly the two eclipses, the Ecclesi, have kind of sliced open for us. Is this a clearer and less equivocal sense of what it means to love here. Right, I'm going to pull on, and it's to do with this, especially this. Poor bastards, look at them. I'm going to pull on the world now. Well, for a cup card, you couldn't get a better win than that. 10 of Cups. How beautiful. Let's read on, because, there are all sorts of things that can come with that. But in conjunction with the world here in the upright, it's just a beautiful, beautiful kind of portal. I mean, that's what a rainbow certainly looks like, isn't it? But like all phenomena, it is largely empty. Like all your atoms and everything largely empty, but it looks like a portal. It looks like you could walk under it and look up and sort of be in it almost, or look up at it like a solid object. I mean, love isn't solid, is it? Some results of love are solid, but love is completely ephemeral. And so is that rainbow. Flipping out, it's getting a bit deep, isn't it? I'm going to pull the next card. Oh. Oh. These are Three of Swords here. I mean, I have never thought this about the Three of Swords before, but I've got the phrase two's company, three's a crowd. And maybe that's why there's so much hesitation here. And I found myself here kind of like recommending, not hesitation, but just not like blabbing the bloody farm here in the Knight of Swords. Who do you really love? I'm getting that off here as well. It's like there's a choice here, because one is just like love. Two is sort of like I love you and you love me, but three is like, who the fuck's that? There's other people, things that three is sort of opening it up. And I'm not saying anything dirty or weird, but there's something here in the Three of Swords, because people always call this heartbreak, but it's not a cup card, man. And that's what the two's company, three's a crowd. I'm getting gossip off this. And quite sort of egregious. Excuse me, maybe that also becomes clear as this course correction shifts our perspective and kind of really opens up this seam of tenderness in us, in the Queen of Cups. And it kind of clarifies this. I mean, obviously it's painful. It looks bloody painful, doesn't it? It's words and thoughts. This is like ill will. But I mean, fuck it, you got the world. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, whatever. But I'm going to read on. I'm going to complete this column because I'm saying some rather, I don't know, sweeping things about this. So let's move on. Seven of Wands. And the Eight of Pentacles. Okay. All right. Well, look, this is a reading for a week. This isn't like a reading for the rest of your bloody life. So I'm going to like zoom out a little bit. I mean, you can't go wrong with the World and the Ten of Cups. The Eight of Pentacles is something to do with investing your energy in productivity and keeping your head down, in that, just getting on with it, basically. And I mean, the Seven of Wands is sort of defensiveness and defending your position. But I'm not getting any conflict off of this. I'm definitely not getting conflict off the Three of Swords. I'm getting fucking ill will off it. So, I'm not surprised it's followed by the Seven of Wands. I mean, we are good here. I'm going to clarify in some, what am I going to do? Yeah, I'm going to clarify with Major Arcana of the Rider-Waite here. I'll just give it one little shuffle. And yeah, I'm going to take reversals on this. Okay, one little shuffle, one little cut. I'm going to pull one for each column. Okay, we've got the Sun in reverse. Well, yeah, that just kind of backs up the lack of clarity. at the moment. And that's what I was saying about the borrowed light. And how interesting we go from the sun in reverse straight to the moon in the upright. Card number 18, card number 19. Yeah, this just kind of caps off the sense that that for the moment we're in a new kind of a new phase to do with the interplay of the sun and the moon. So we don't have like full vision here. But yeah, I'm not getting anything like sad off it or anything like that. This is more to do with the timing. And it is capped off. All right, this little run of stuff. The Ecclesi. Okay, Wheel of Fortune. It's come up in the reverse, but okay, I think there's perhaps a kind of a bit of a tug at the gut, and that's what this second column represents, of sort of not wanting to push your luck. I'm going to leave that there. That'll do for me. Wheel of Fortune in reverse in this setting. Again, it's a foot over the break. Okay, and the High Priestess in the reverse. Right, well, that basically goes back to this Three of Swords here. And this ill will. But it's ill will born of ignorance. And that's why I'm not really worried about it. Keep your nut down, Eight of Pentacles. Make sure you know what's yours and what isn't yours, and feel kind of up for defending that, basically, in the case of this ill will, because this is the ill will of yeah, I'm not really like fussed about it. It's the ill will of somebody who really just doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. I mean, people like that can do a certain amount of damage, but only a certain amount, because, you know, it becomes clear on the collective that they don't know what they're doing. So, you know, and then things basically get shut down. But this, from here on in, we are talking about someone else. And I'm really glad these cards have come up, because other than that, all this reading would be is there's been a course correction. Everything's a bit quietly confusing at the moment. So keep your energy contained as you grow a new shell. Happy days. World in the upright and the Ten of Cups. But yeah, there's this little message here. There's this little kicker. So that's just perhaps worth bearing in mind this week, dear viewer, dear listener. Right. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to leave that there. Bye-bye.